It is impossible to get Pokemon cards right now. The hobby is completely cooked and you should probably quit. In this video, I'm going to tell you why none of that is true and give you a few ideas to help you get the most enjoyment out of your trading card hobby for the rest of this year and into 2026. It all starts with a question: why do you collect? There's a lot of reasons that I collect, and when I meditated on those reasons, it revealed paths forward for me and opportunities that I could get a ton of enjoyment out of by just changing how I go about pursuing my hobby. And the end result has been that even though it's harder than ever to get Pokemon cards and I'm getting like less of them and they're more expensive, I'm having more fun collecting cards because of how I've been able to deepen my connection and deepen my pursuit of the deeper passions that drive my attraction to collecting Pokemon cards and collecting trading cards in general. So there are a few reasons that I love collecting Pokemon cards. Reason number one, the IP. I grew up with Pokemon. My first, when I was 5 years old, I got a Game Boy Color with Pokemon Yellow. I got my butt kicked by Brock. I remember crying because Pikachu ran out of power points for Thundershock and I didn't know how to go to the Pokemon Center. And so I was stuck with Tail Whip and I just kept getting defeated and I would go back to a save point, but I was still out of Thundershock and I didn't know how to get more of it. And I had to get an older friend to kind of tell me no, you go here and you do this. I collected Pokemon cards back when I was a kid, totally neglected them. I don't have any of those cards anymore. I really regret it now, of course. But I have a deep love for the IP, and that love has deepened as I've entered into adulthood and as I've become a man. I look back, especially at the early games and especially at the early seasons of the show, and I see the strong narratives and the ethos of the series, and it just makes me love Pokemon even more. And so for me, as an adult, trading cards and the Pokemon cards are the way that I connect with the nostalgia and the memories, and also with the ideas that I love about Pokemon as a series and as an IP. I also love art. I love to collect art. I love to make art. I love to look at art. And the thing about art is that you only have so much wall space to hang it up before it's just going to get cluttered. It's going to get crazy. Also, art tends to be pretty expensive. A little bit of a pain to take care of and maintain if you're moving and stuff like that. You got to hang it on the walls and stuff like that. And then if you want to rearrange your house, you got to plan where you're going to lay everything out again. It comes with its own fair share of trouble despite how beautiful it is. Trading cards allow me to collect beautiful art, handcrafted by passionate and talented artists without the downsides of wall art. And I can very easily, I've got 15,000 trading cards sitting under my desk, right on the other side of this camera. And I mean, there's plenty of duplicates in there, but I mean, there's thousands of different pieces of artwork that were handcrafted by people that love what they do. And I love that trading cards give me a window into their passion and their souls. Cards as collectible artifacts are a lot of fun to me as well. I love the feel of the cards. I love the smell of new cards. I love the tactile experience of opening the packs. And I mean, when it comes to packs, I love ripping packs. For me, it's not really about the gamble because I don't really care about what's inside. I just love the ritual and the experience of sitting down, kind of guessing, wondering what's inside, and then finally ripping it open. That experience, that is the thing that I pay for. And then whatever I find inside is just a bonus on top of the fact that I got to rip the packs. And as I build a large collection, I love sorting and organizing and stewarding and caring for my cards and my collection. I think that there is beauty in order. I think that it is good to take chaos and turn it into order. For me, it is an act through which I cultivate a little bit of virtue in my own soul, bringing order to the chaos of a cluttered, messy a collection that could be cluttered and messy and not well cared for. And so these are all just different things that I love about collecting Pokemon cards. And as I meditated on those things in these challenging times, I realized that I can connect with those deeper layers of the passion of my hobby and my passion for Pokemon cards in many different ways. And so one of those ways is buying bulk. I like going out, buying bulk, making deals with people, making friends, and then finding out, like, what are they getting rid of? What is it that they don't treasure that maybe I will? Am I going to find Alakazam and Machamp and Steelix in here? Those are all Pokemon that I love. Am I going to find like references to Ash Ketchum? Am I going to find cards that have multiple Pokemon on them? Am I going to find Shinji Kanda, Tomokazu Komiya, Haru Akasaka? Like, am I going to find stuff that I value that they didn't value? So like, it's a lot of fun just finding out what's in the bulk, and then I enjoy going through conditioning stuff and sorting it, sleeving it up, building binders. And so like for me, I realized that instead of getting upset or stressed out about shifting market, unavailability of new Pokemon card product, unavailability of sealed product, and so on, like I can have pretty much just as much fun picking up bulk, sorting through it, finding the things that I want, and then selling the rest on TCG Player. And I mean, that's another like thing that I love. I love business. I love creating content. I love learning new skills, challenging myself. Like I'm terrified of doing YouTube. I'm really struggling like making these videos because I'm so bad at them. I've done, I think, like 12 takes on this video already, but I'm learning, I'm growing. And like I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the cards. And so understanding all these things, bulk, I realized that buying bulk and even getting bulk for free, some people literally just give it away. Like it meets all their needs and I can have a ton of fun. And so that's one of my pieces of advice for you, going into 2026. Like, don't ignore bulk. Like, bulk can be a ton of fun. If you like Pokemon cards because of the trading card, like the nature, because of their nature as trading cards, then you probably will also enjoy digging through bulk, sorting it, picking out the things that you want. And if you also like dabble in selling or trading or anything, like you'll probably have a good time sorting through bulk, and you can get thousands of cards for a fraction of the cost that you can get sealed product, and you can get it so much easier because all you have to do is like go on Facebook Marketplace or just like hit people up in the community, go to the card stores, and you can find bulk for cheap and you can get it tomorrow or within, before the end of the week. And then you have hours of fun digging through it, finding what's there, and then reselling the rest or trading it or moving it on to somebody else. But you have to have an open mind. And so that's where there's sort of a philosophical aspect to it. In Stoicism, we would say like amor fati. If it is too hard to get sealed, if it is too hard to get new product, accept it. And then learn to love a different method. For me, that's buying bulk. Instead of getting shaken up and allowing the challenges to assassinate my happiness and the enjoyment that I get out of the hobby, I just found a different path. Now, if bulk isn't for you, or if bulk just isn't the only thing that you want to do, and you love ripping packs like I do, that's where you can take Danny Phantom's advice and go somewhere else. In your town, there's probably there's probably an LGS or a Walmart that's out of the way. Maybe it's 30, 45, 60 minutes away from you. But maybe they regularly have stuff in stock. Like I live in Austin. I live in a major city, and I'm aware of probably about 20 different locations kind of within 45-minute to 60-minute drive for me, that if I go there, there's a very strong chance that they are going to have some kind of sealed Pokemon cards at a decent price. And so if I'm willing to go a little bit out of my way, I can get my hands on sealed product. If I am willing to pay a little bit of a higher price, I can get it in my community on Facebook Marketplace below market price by buying in bulk or kind of just waiting for the right deal to come up, and then just being bold and saying, hey, like, I know you want 80, I'll do 70. Some people, they want to move off of it. They want to sell. You know, some people just, they don't know what it's worth. They aren't scalpers or anything like that. They just have more than they wanted and they're just trying to get rid of it. And maybe they don't know how much they should sell it for. So they're just trying to get what they can. They're pricing high and they're willing to negotiate, you know? So it just kind of depends on what's important to you. Is it important to you to open the latest and greatest set that everyone's paying attention to? If that's the case, then you're probably going to have to go out of your way, go farther than you would usually go, and or pay more for it. But if that experience is worth the time and money that you put into it, then it's a fair trade. So I'm not the type of person that really cares about MSRP. I will gladly pay more than MSRP for things that I want, even new stuff. Like I have no problem paying $6, $8, maybe $9 a pack for like Phantasmal Flames or for Mega Evolution when it came out. That doesn't bother me because the way I see it, it's like, I love wine. I've got a background in wine. I've studied it. Like wine is another thing that I would consider myself passionate about. And I know like back in Florida, I could go to Carrabba's and I could get a glass of Gabbiano Chianti for like $14 or $15. It's a cheap Chianti, but Chianti is a solid wine. Even the cheap stuff is good. I can get a bottle though of that same Gabbiano Chianti that they sell at Carrabba's across the street at Publix. But I don't complain. Like I buy both. I buy the bottle at $12 when I want a bottle, and I buy the glass at $14 or $15 when I want to drink a glass with my woman while I'm eating a ribeye that was prepared for me at Carrabba's. Like I don't feel bad about paying twice the price for the same thing in a different location because of the context in which I get it, if it's more convenient. And I mean, the same thing applies to like convenience stores. You know, if I want Celsius or Liquid Death and I'm next to 7-Eleven or next to Quick Trip and I'm driving past it, I'm not gonna go further and out of my way to find the nearest H-E-B or Walmart to save $2, like $1 or $2 on Liquid Death and Celsius. So why would I do the same thing for Pokemon cards? Like it makes no sense. So I don't care about MSRP. If you do, that's fine. Everyone should consume the way that they want to consume. But if you are someone that's kind of on the fence, like you're worried about supporting, about feeding the scalpers or something, I would say like, don't worry about it. Set your own value on stuff, decide what you're willing to pay, and then like pay it. Yeah. I have a maximum threshold that I won't cross when it comes to getting like the latest and greatest sets and stuff like that. And I just commit to that. And I don't feel bad about paying market price, above MSRP for the stuff that I want. I don't think you should either. But when I don't want to pay market, when I want to pay closer to MSRP or actual MSRP, I know that the trade-off is I need to either go out of the way, kind of out to the edges of town and find some of those kind of hole-in-the-wall shops that don't do as much advertising, don't get as much foot traffic, and have the stuff and are pretty much guaranteed to have stuff on the shelves. I can go there, or I can just wait. And like if I pay attention to Facebook Marketplace and if I regularly visit my local card shops, eventually I will find the latest and greatest stuff at a good price. I don't have to use like PokeNotify or opt into any email newsletters or stand in long lines or rush out at the last minute or like put stuff on a credit card when I don't have the money for it. Like I don't have to do any of that because I just participate in my local community. I am friendly with the staff at the card stores at which I'm a regular. And so I am like, when the opportunity arises, I'm able to jump on it. And generally, like with new stuff, it's 2-3 weeks after release, I walk in and they've got like half a booster box sitting there and I buy a couple packs with Mega Evolution, $6. Phantasmal Flames, $6. They had limits. It's no big deal. I stayed within the limit. I got 6 packs, and like no problems at $6 a pack. I think that's above MSRP. I don't actually know, but like to me, it's worth it. And I saved some money compared to buying it at market price, and it was worth the wait because the cards were the same. I didn't miss out on anything by not getting it sooner. And then while I was waiting, I just bought bulk. And then the other thing is like buy stuff that's not hot. Danny Phantom, go somewhere else. People aren't paying attention to. There's some spots around town where there's like check lane blisters of like Journey Together for like $6. People aren't paying attention to it because some people just don't care. People aren't paying attention to like Surging Sparks and stuff like that. So that's pretty cheap. So I can grab that. You can grab that. And so that's kind of the other aspect of this is like, if you can't get the latest and greatest Pokemon, but you want to open Pokemon specifically, and you want to open sealed, and you don't want to do bulk, buy old stuff, look for deals, look for people on Facebook Marketplace selling like large collections that they've been holding on to below market price, and scoop that stuff up. That's fun. And if you can't have fun opening the cards unless it's the latest greatest thing that everyone is talking about, like, I don't know what to tell you. There's a concept and quote attributed to Epicurus, an ancient Greek philosopher. And he said, if you can't be happy, satisfied with bread and water, you won't be satisfied with anything. And I think the same kind of applies to the Pokemon card situation. Like, if you can't have a good time opening like an old set as opposed to the latest and greatest set, then the problem is you just don't know how to have fun. And I mean, I hope that doesn't come across as too combative, but really, like, there is so much to love and so much to enjoy about ripping a sealed pack of anything, any Pokemon set, that like, just because it's not the latest and greatest shouldn't make it like a negative experience. Like, even if I already had like a full master set of 151, I'm building a master set of 151 in my binder here. Even if I had completed it, I would probably still want to open 151 because like I still like the stuff that's in it. Like, I still have a good time opening it. Like, even if it's stuff I've opened before and cards I've seen, I still have fun. There's a lot of fun to be had, but that's because like I am deeply passionate about it, and that's where I know I'm deeply passionate about it. So I know that I'm going to have a good time doing exactly what Danny Phantom says and going somewhere else and enjoying it in a different way. And again, like for me, that's bulk. That's buying old stuff, and that's going to other stores where it's less convenient. That's even paying a higher price in some cases if I really want something. If it's a set that I've never opened before and it's like $7 or $8 or even $10, and I've never seen it like out in the wild, I'm probably gonna grab it just to give it a try. So these are just things to keep in mind. And the other big one, probably the biggest game changer for me, still on this theme of go somewhere else, is like go away from Pokemon entirely. As I started exploring the card shops in my area, like, I'm pretty new to Austin. I've only been here for about a year, and I didn't do any like collecting or anything for the whole year as I was getting acclimated, starting my dry event business and stuff like that. I just didn't have time. So I very recently got back in and started collecting again and started going checking out the card shops and stuff. And I quickly found out in this environment that nobody near me had any Pokemon. And this was before I found the shops that did have Pokemon, and this is before I found out about Facebook Marketplace and stuff being available there, and this is before I was like jumping on bulk and stuff like that. So I just started, like, I saw they had a bunch of stuff behind the counter, so I just started talking to the clerks, like, well, since you have no Pokemon, like, what is selling? And that's where I learned about One Piece. I learned about Union Arena. I learned about Sorcery. I learned about the latest Magic sets. Then I started getting back into collecting Magic after having been like a big like Magic player back in the day. Lorcana, I saw some Lorcana singles laid out in a display case, and they were gorgeous. I think I saw an enchanted Mufasa card, and that is the one that like sold me. And I was like, I want to open some of this stuff. And so I started branching out and opening packs of stuff that I didn't know, didn't recognize, didn't know anything about the game, didn't know anything about the cards or anything. But I had a connection along those other like deeper why lines, like a connection to the IP, connection to the art, appreciation for the art, appreciation for trading cards in general, an appreciation for the act of ripping packs, appreciation for the sorting and collecting and stewarding a collection. Like all of those things still apply, whether it's the latest and greatest Pokemon, whether it's older Pokemon, whether it's Pokemon bulk, or if it's fresh packs of Lorcana, or it's like older set of Union Arena, older set of Magic the Gathering, right now. And so that's where I started branching out, and I'm having a ton of fun. And because I broadened my horizons, I am never at a shortage of things to open at this point. I open Pokemon when I can. I open old and new Pokemon. I open Pokemon in multiple languages. I think that that's a lot of fun. But I'm also, I'm opening Union Arena, Full Metal Alchemist, and Yu Yu Hakusho. I love both of those IPs very, very deeply, very much in a similar way to why I love Pokemon. I'm opening Sorcery. The art in Sorcery is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm a huge fantasy fan. I've got a huge bookshelf next to me here full of fantasy books. I'm a huge fantasy fan, and so everything that I loved about like old school MTG, I'm finding that even deeper in Sorcery. And I'm opening MTG, like I'm opening Thunder Junction and then now Avatar, and I'm having a great time with both. Lorcana, I'm opening some of the sets and kind of getting used to the cards, and I'm collecting Lion King, Mulan, Treasure Planet. There's all of these great cards that I'm finding, great art, and I'm having a great time because I branched out. One Piece, Flesh and Blood, I picked up some bulk of both of those, and I'm going to start going through, get acclimated with Gundam. I've just been getting bulk Gundam. I'm not even buying packs or anything. I'm just going through bulk and sorting it, getting used to it. I like Gundam a lot. And also listing those on my TCG Player store, they're moving fast. It's crazy. Like, they're moving faster than Pokemon right now. It's wild. But yeah, like all of this stuff, I'm having a ton of fun collecting it, sorting it, learning about it. And so that's where there's so many ways that you can engage in this hobby, but you can only identify these paths and opportunities if you fundamentally understand why you love the hobby. And so that's why it circles back to that question from the beginning of the video, like, why do you collect? It sounds trite. It sounds like a shallow, stupid question, but it is so, so, so important, because if you answer that question, it reveals to you the path forward and the best opportunities for you to have the most fun that you've probably ever had as you go into 2026 and things very possibly get harder, markets get crazier, economy stuff happens. Like, this world, this industry, this hobby is so unpredictable right now. But if you know why you love it, then you can engage with it in new and different ways and still have just as much fun, if not more fun, than you would if you could just go to your local Walmart 5 or 10 minutes away and find an abundance of Pokemon collecting dust on the shelves, and you could just pick the latest pack that came out, rip it, and forget about it. Like, things are different now. It's tougher, but if you put, like, when you have to put more work into something, the reward, in my opinion and in my experience, it just feels so much greater. So, is it impossible to get Pokemon cards? No, it's not. Is the hobby completely cooked? No. I don't think it is. Should you quit collecting? No, absolutely not. What should you do? Broaden your horizons. Start collecting bulk. Start opening other IPs, other games, other cards. Start changing the way that you collect. If you have been trying to build master sets and stuff like that, start engaging in different ways. Start building artist sets. If you build master sets in Pokemon, try building art sets or like creature sets, like all angels or all vampires in Magic the Gathering, or start building character sets or alternate art sets in some of the Bandai IPs. Like if you like Dragon Ball Super, I'm collecting the latest Dragon Ball Super set. I'm going to try to master set both manga boosters because I'm reading the Dragon Ball manga right now in some of my free time. And be patient and like detach from specific outcomes. You just accept what happens, what comes your way, accept the opportunities that come your way, and accept the opportunities that don't come your way. If you can't get your hands on one thing, then you have two opportunities. You can complain and you can be miserable about it, or you can go have fun collecting something else that's easier to get your hands on because nobody else is paying attention to it. And I mean, if you follow your why, where it leads you, if it leads you to different ways of collecting Pokemon, if it leads you to collecting different types of cards, if it leads you to doing different activities related to Pokemon, like starting to becoming a seller or creating content or stuff like that, like follow it. It's going to lead you well. But I think I've said enough. This channel is sponsored by me. Visit getdkc.com to buy my stuff. Don't quit on your hobby. Just change your direction a little bit. And remember, life is short, so rip interesting packs.